Once upon a time, in a small village nestled in a lush valley, there lived a young boy named Jin. He was known throughout the village for his vivid imagination and passion for storytelling. His tales were so captivating that the villagers would gather around the village square, eagerly listening to his every word. Every evening, after a long day of tending to his family's farm, Jin would sit in front of a mysterious old door in his room. The door was adorned with intricate paintings of magical lands and mythical creatures, which served as inspiration for his enchanting tales. His parents and friends often wondered where he came up with such fantastical stories, but Jin kept it a secret, believing that a bit of mystery added to the charm of his stories. One moonlit night, as Jin sat before the painted door, he couldn't help but feel a pang of dissatisfaction. Despite the joy his stories brought to the villagers, he couldn't shake off the feeling that something was missing. He yearned for a new adventure, a story that would touch even the hardest of hearts and leave a lasting impact on the village. As if sensing his deepest desire, the painted door creaked open, revealing a pathway shrouded in mist. Intrigued and a little bit scared, Jin hesitated for a moment, but his curiosity soon got the better of him. He took a deep breath and stepped through the doorway, embarking on an unexpected journey. The mist cleared, and Jin found himself in a breathtakingly beautiful meadow. The grass was greener than emeralds, and the sky was dotted with cotton-cuffed clouds. The air was filled with the sweet melody of birdsong and the gentle hum of buzzing bees. In the distance, he saw a towering tree, its branches adorned with glowing lanterns and colorful ribbons. Enchanted by the sight, Jin started walking towards the tree. As he got closer, he noticed an old, wise-looking owl perched on a branch, watching him with wise, amber eyes. The owl hooted softly, as if beckoning him to come closer. "Greetings, young traveler," the owl said, its voice a melodious mix of the wind rustling through leaves and the gentle trickle of a stream. "You have ventured far from your world, and yet I sense that your journey has only just begun." Jin was taken aback by the owl's words, but couldn't deny the truth in its wise gaze. He knew that the owl was right. He had come here in search of something more, something that would give his stories a deeper meaning. "I have come to find a story that will touch the hearts of those who hear it," Jin replied, his voice filled with determination. The owl nodded, its feathers gently rustling in the breeze. "Then you must continue your journey, young storyteller. Follow the path that leads beyond the painted door, for there you will find the tale that will change not only your life, but the lives of those who listen to your words." With a grateful bow, Jin thanked the wise owl and continued his journey. He traversed through enchanted forests, sailed across crystal-clear rivers, and climbed treacherous mountains. Along the way, he met many fascinating creatures and learned valuable lessons about life, love, and the power of storytelling. Finally, after many trials and tribulations, Jin arrived at the foot of a majestic mountain. At its peak, he saw a shimmering star, its light illuminating the dark sky. He knew, deep in his heart, that the story he sought lay at the top of that mountain. With renewed determination, Jin began his ascent. The climb was arduous, and many times he thought about giving up. But the memory of the villagers' eager faces and the wise owl's words kept him going. After what seemed like an eternity, Jin reached the summit. There, he found an ancient, gnarled tree, its branches adorned with glowing lanterns and colorful ribbons, just like the one he had seen in the meadow. In the tree's hollow trunk, a single, radiant star rested. As he approached the tree, the star's light intensified, bathing him in its warm glow. In that moment, Jin understood the true power of storytelling. He realized that the stories he told were more than just words woven together to entertain. They had the power to inspire hope, kindle love, and bring people together. Filled with a newfound sense of purpose, Jin carefully plucked the star from the tree and placed it inside his heart. He knew that the story he had been searching for was not a tale of far-off lands or mythical creatures, but a story of the human heart, a story of love, courage, and the power of connection. With a lightness in his heart and a newfound wisdom in his eyes, Jin began his journey back home. As he retraced his steps, he couldn't help but marvel at the many lessons he had learned and the magical worlds he had seen. Finally, he stood before the painted door once again. With a deep breath, he stepped through the doorway and returned to his room. The villagers, who had been worried sick about his disappearance, greeted him with open arms, showering him with hugs and tears of relief. That night, As the villagers gathered around the village square, Jin sat before them, a warm glow emanating from his chest. He knew that the time had come to share the story he had been seeking. As he began to weave the tale of his journey, the villagers listened, entranced. They laughed at his misadventures, gasped at his narrow escapes, and cheered him on as he scaled the treacherous mountain. But it was when he reached the climax of his story, when he plucked the star from the ancient tree and placed it in his heart, that the true magic happened. Tears of understanding and connection shone in the villagers' eyes as they realized the true meaning of his story. They understood that the star in Jin's heart represented the power of love, hope, and unity that resided within each and every one of them. As the last words of his tale echoed through the village square, a resounding applause erupted, but it was the glimmer of understanding and the warm smiles on the villagers' faces that filled Jin's heart with pride and joy. He had found the story he had been searching for, story that transcended words and touched the very core of the human heart. And as he looked around at the faces of his friends, family, and fellow villagers, he knew that he had finally found his true purpose as a storyteller. The moral of this story is that the most powerful stories are those that touch our hearts and remind us of the beauty and strength within ourselves and the power of connection and love that binds us all together. As Jin's journey beyond the painted door taught him, the true magic of storytelling lies not in the words we weave, but in the hearts we touch and the lives we inspire through our tales.